said, it's not going to appraise for that. We know it's not.
Hey, Mr. Chairman, it's 1 o'clock.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, we can talk forever. It is. It is 12 o'clock up there.
Fran, can you hear me? You hear me okay? Okay.
Thank you.
Good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to the May 24th meeting of the Jefferson County Board of Zoning and Adjustments. The Board of Zoning and Adjustments is a 5-member board, and 3 affirmative votes were required for approval of any variance request today. For anyone addressing the board today, please give your name and address for the record, and then tell us what your hardship is or what your objection to the request may be. You will be given our decision today verbally, and if you receive our decision in writing within 10 days. Zoning approvals can be issued immediately following the hearing in our office at room B200. However, you will first be required to obtain a permit from the Jefferson County Department of Health if your application involves connection to a septic tank, or the Jefferson County Environmental Services Department if your application involves connection to sanitary sewer. Anyone disagreeing with the board's decision today has 15 days in which to file an appeal with Circuit Court. Also, we ask that you silence any electronic devices during this hearing. Have all of the members of the board had a chance to review the case materials and minutes from the April 26th meeting?
Yes.
Okay. Can I get a motion on the minutes?
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Our first case will be A21-0002. And this case has been withdrawn by the applicant. So our second case will be the first we'll hear. It will be A21-0010. Property owner Brandon Smith, and it's a request for special exception to allow a guest house pool house on a property and to allow guest house to be occupied as a primary residence while the primary residence is under construction. The address is 3806 Leroy Lane, Bessemer, Alabama. It consists of 2.47 acres. Is the applicant here today? Okay. Well, Michael's going to present your case, and then you could come up and give any additional information for it, Michael.
Good afternoon. This particular request, again, it's an exception or special exception that the Board of Zoning Adjustment has power to grant regarding guest homes. The reason why there's a Board of Zoning Adjustment review of these particular requests is to ensure that density and things like that come into play, and that there's adequate space and air and all this other sort of stuff between the two buildings, as well as the fabric of the community that is around. In this instance, this is an area that's zoned A1, which is large lots, large acreage tracts. And in fact, in this particular instance, they could theoretically carve off the property into 2 lots and construct 2 houses, because it's of adequate size to do such. In this particular request, though, the guest house, though there is no particular minimum square footage for guest houses, we can't permit it as a primary residence at this point in time, or ever, really, because the square footage of the house is substandard of what's required in A1 zoning. A1 zoning requires 600 square feet, and this is going to be just short of that. And so that's why staff recommended approval, given that the density is fine. There's no jeopardy or anything there. But there was a recommendation that they begin construction, or the house is constructed within 1 year, just so we don't leave this guest house that's actually a substandard structure orphaned on the property. And so, like I said, staff recommended approval with that condition.
Get applicant. Yeah. If you would come up, state your name, and then name and address.
My current address?
Yes.
Okay. My name is Brandon Smith. Current address is 6410 Tree Crossing Parkway, Hoover, 35244.
Okay. You want to add anything, Michael?
Just that it was my goal to build the primary house first, but with the cost of materials and stuff, I wanted to give myself a little bit of time and make the property a little nicer in that time. I paid cash for the land, and I'm enjoying being debt free. I would like to remain that way, and so it's my goal to do this all as I go, and being able to put the guest house first, move into that, and then build the main house as I go is my dream and my goal.
What do you think your time frame on building the permanent structure would be?
Within a year.
Okay. Any questions from the members? Okay, first let's see if there's any opposition. Any opposition to the case? Okay, I will take a motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
Very quickly, again, do we recommend administrative approval, or is it going to be approval with the stipulation?
With the stipulation.
Now, on that stipulation, there's a difference between pulling the permit for primary residence and actually a certificate of occupancy. Right now, with the state of the supplies, I would say the permit would need to be pulled within a year, and then because you would have to start today to get the house finished in a year on a CO.
And that's fine. We just need to be sure that if that's acceptable, you need to amend your motion and then amend the second, just to reflect that difference.
I amend the motion to allow the stipulation.
That the permit will be pulled within a year. Okay. So we have a motion and a second with the stipulation. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Thank you.
You just missed our conversation about building products before the meeting started. He's a builder and we're realtors, and so we understand.
Don't want to pass something there's no way you're going to make it.
Thank you.
Okay, our next case will be A21-0012, Valley Creek Land and Timber Company, applicant Brenda Weinman, requesting a use variance to allow a mobile home in an I3 industrial zoning in lieu of the zoning district that would allow such, and to allow mobile homes on the property to be occupied by someone other than the property owner and the owner's immediate family. The property consists of 34.13 acres, and the address is 1486 Dusty Oak Drive, Mulga, Alabama. Is the applicant here? Okay. Michael will present your case, and then I'll let you speak.
This particular property has a sort of lengthy history. Back in the late 1980s, a variance was granted to allow 7 mobile homes per an approved plot plan, kind of like a river camp. This is out on the river. In the I3 zoning, that at the time I believe it was U.S. Steel property, and they didn't want to change the zoning on it. Later, there was another variance to allow it was a setback for an existing mobile home. So I mean, this property has a history of having mobile homes on it. And looking at it itself, you see up in the top right corner is the particular mobile home location in question. There is another one that's on the sort of the opposite corner down there that's on the riverfront that both lie on this property that both were there as a result of these previous variances that were allowed. Now, the variance for the river camp it had an expiration or a sunset date of going to 1993. There was another variance to allow another mobile home that was for a period not to allow the 5 years, and that one was actually for this other mobile home that's down on the corner of the property. So by granting this variance and the way that it's structured, again with the stipulation from staff, it will allow for these 2 mobile homes to remain. And if at any point in the future, if the property owner wants to come through and add more mobile homes or do a river camp, at that point we'll need to rezone the property itself, as well as have a plat approved by the BZA and probably another variance action if they do plan on having mobile homes to address the fact that the folks that will be living in the mobile homes aren't the property owner, the property owner's immediate family, which is also a requirement for mobile homes that are that are located anywhere other than a mobile home park. So, anyway, and that's the reason for the stipulation, just to limit it to the 2 mobile homes, and If anything were to change in the future, they'd have to go through a zoning action, notifying all property owners within 500 feet, and so on and so forth. So.
My name is Barbara Weidman. I'm Brenda. If it's, you said Brenda, so I just want to make sure it's Barbara. Okay. My address is 1486 Dusty Oak Drive, Namoga, Alabama, and it's in the Birmingham area. And I do not want to put any more mobile homes on it but just mine, but I just need the variance so I can get all my permits. And I've already had my septic tank approved. It's just waiting or something. Mr. Carl and them inspected all that.
Yeah, okay.
So.
Any questions from the board?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. And this is to replace one that burned?
Yes, ma'am.
This is, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So we're just
Our
replacing
house
that?
burnt on December 29th,
Okay,
and we want to put something back on it.
put one back on, okay.
Okay. Any opposition to this case? Okay, seeing none, yeah, I'll take a motion.
I move that we approve with the stipulation of no more than 2 mobile homes on this property.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? No. Okay, your variance has been granted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I believe that concludes our hearings for today, so can I have a motion to adjourn?
To adjourn.
Second. All in favor?
That was almost it.
That was pretty good. Yeah. I saw that packet come through and I thought, goodness, we've got all of this?